We're going to take you on the ultimate van life voyage of discovery as we drive around the world.
On this trip, we are going to do our best to share everything.
The good, the bad, and yes, indeed, the ugly.
What we're hoping to share with you and what we're hoping that we're able to give you is a real experience of van life.
So we're going to share with you all of the preparations, what you need to consider to do a trip like this, how we get the van ready, the actual day-to-day life in the van, what we see, what we eat.
It's going to be a real journey, I think. We're going to be able to share how we're feeling, because there are going to be some miserable times, there are going to be some amazing times, there are going to be some difficult times.
I think more than anything, we're going to have a real sense of we've achieved something that I don't know anybody else has actually done. I think we're going to be the first people to get a full series on YouTube showing the preparations and everything you need to think about and then actually drive around the world.
I think it's going to be really nice actually, and it's just going to be an honest program every time.
So I think this is the ideal opportunity to show you the new around the world intro we have made for the next season. So without further ado, cue that intro.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free.
Well, I think when we first started, everyone said, where had you been and how many countries had you been to? And we were like, country number 1. So then I think we just thought, well, if we're going to do this mad adventure, let's really do this mad adventure and just drive around the world. We did consider buying a 4x4, something like a Toyota Land Cruiser for this big trip. But because we already own the van, we just decided, look, we love Trudy, she's very comfortable.
She's like a big warm blanket that just gets wrapped around you. She's got everything you could possibly need.
Trudy, the other lady in my life. She's a 14-year-old Fiat Ducato van.
A 2-wheel drive.
But that should be okay. I think she'll be good. And yeah, she's reliable. We love Trudy.
Trudy is just under 6 meters long, but she's got everything. She's really well designed, with a fixed bed at the back, kitchen, shower, toilet, seating area, water tank, solar panels. So I think we're going to be okay.
And if you're at those border crossings and you have to wait a day, half a day, 6 hours, 8 hours, 2 days, then it's going to be a much more comfortable waiting in Trudy at home rather than in a makeshift car.
Not really sure how it even came about.
I think we were in a pub. Yeah, I think we were in a pub, and it was just one of those ideas that, well, it sounded a good idea at the time.
We intend to start this massive adventure in January 2020.
If all goes according to plan, that is the plan at the moment. There is a countdown clock on our website if you want to keep up with the exact number of days, minutes, hours, seconds. But yeah, fingers crossed if all goes according to plan, January.
We're hoping and planning to do it in about 20-ish months.
Well, we said initially that it was going to be 20 countries in 20 months. Starting in the year 2020, and we're expecting to do it under 2 years. We have to kind of stick to that because of weather, and if we delay in a particular country, then by the time we reach Canada or something, it'll be smack in the middle of their winter. So the plan is that we are going to leave the UK in January and then head all the way down south towards the top of Greece. It's a huge drive. It's going to see us driving all the way across Turkey, around the Caspian Sea into Russia. It's a total of 44,000 miles and will see us drive over 4 continents. From Russia we're going to get the car ferry over to South Korea and then ship it to Malaysia. From Singapore we're shipping to Australia and then following the coastline around Australia. We have a humongous 21 border crossings to do and will see us drive all the way up the US to Alaska and then finally across Canada before arriving in Quebec City and shipping Trudy back to the UK. I think by the end we'll have a lot of appreciation on where we're from, appreciation that the world is a beautiful place. I think doing a trip like this is going to give us a real sense of achievement, and we've always loved to travel. We've set out to try and visit every country in the world, and I think it's nice to do it in a bit of a different way, something that I think is going to change us forevermore.
I am absolutely certain there are going to be challenges that we cannot imagine, but I think we've got a really good attitude, and I think we've got enough skill sets between us, problem solving, a bit of common sense thrown in. I think we've got it.
I think what some of the challenges is going to be really the unknown, the endurance of it. We're going to be driving across countries we can't speak the language. We're going to go days without seeing towns, and we're going to be really, really isolated for parts of it. And I think it's going to be a real mental and physical test driving that far.
I think I'm going to have some ninja skills. I think I'm going to be able to one-pot cook. I'm going to be able to space manage to the max. I am going to be able to navigate on roads that I had no idea I could.
I think some of the worries, you know, we're going to be going across the deserts of Kazakhstan and Mongolia, and you know, what happens if we break down, what happens if we run out of fuel or water. I think probably the biggest nightmare would be if one of us had a medical emergency in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, there's a few natural concerns there.
I haven't actually got any mechanical experience at all, but I have changed a tyre and I've topped up the oil and the water in the windscreen wipers.
I've done a few repairs on my motorbike in years gone by, maybe change a brake pad on the motorbike. I've changed a tyre on Trudy once before, or I actually tried to because the jack wasn't tall enough. Yeah, no, we don't really have any mechanical experience yet at the moment, because I think we're going to try and learn some before we go. Probably a good idea to learn some before we go. Yeah, we've got absolutely loads of things to get ready, from visas to Trudy to route planning to costings. Yeah, we've got a lot to do.
When we came back from Central America, we gave ourselves 5 months to make it happen and organise the visas and do the planning and prepping. But time is literally just escaping us.
So when you look at other programs, the long way round, other people online, even going to Mongolia and things like that, they spend 6 months to a year and a half getting ready, and we now have 4 months to get ready at the time we're recording this. So we are slightly behind schedule before we start.
Yeah, Trudy is our home now, but obviously she needs a bit of tweaking to be able to master some of the roads and the conditions that we're going to face. So we have a wish list, a checklist of things that we need to purchase, and also we're going to get some work done on her, like have a snorkel fitted and just generally check and put a new clutch on and make sure that she's prepped in the best way that we can for the trip ahead.
There's loads to do on Trudy. Some of it's must-have changes, and some of it would be nice to change, subject to budget. We're going to get some new tyres because some of the countries need winter tyres. We're going to do some modifications to the cupboards and the suspension and welding and winches. So yeah, we do not have the skills to do the changes that we need to Trudy. In fact, we are really lucky that we have a team of friends that are going to help us. In fact, I am wearing the Tread Team shirt. Let me introduce to you the Tread Team crew members. So first on the list we have
Mike, Simon his dad, and Tez, and they have been our mechanic friends ever since we first moved to sunny Shropshire, and they helped us with our cars.
Yeah, they've got a garage in Telford and they're going to help us with the mechanical work. Then we have our friend Aaron the builder, who has over the years done loads of building works for us at our house, and he is going to help us with some of the woodwork, decorative, and some of the practical things we need to do to Trudy. And last but not least,
we have Martin from Be Smart Leisure, who we met when we were looking around for somebody helpful to help us put our solar panels on, our modem, and other tweaks that we first did when we got Trudy.
He and his guys there have very kindly going to let us use some of their workshop to do the changes we need to do to Trudy to get her ready for this big trip.
Chris and I have been married for over 23 years and we don't really argue, but we just get on really well. We're like best friends. It's like having a sleepover with your best buddy.
I'm one of those people that if I set out to do something, then I just have to get it done. And I think that so many people have sort of said to us, what, you're really going to actually drive around the world? That it actually makes me want to do it more.
I don't think I've ever considered it to be a good idea to drive around the world. I just think it's one of life's challenges. Some people want to climb mountains. I want to drive around the world.
Well, the good thing is we're used to living in Trudy already. We spent 8 months in Trudy when we first set off on this adventure a year and 3 months ago. Doing 2 years in the van is going to be a challenge.
I will miss the family, and I'm delighted to have certain apps on my phone that I can use to phone home and actually video call.
And of course, in most countries we won't have a problem getting SIM cards, we hope. So they will indeed be able to get hold of us too, should there be any emergencies back home.
I think I am going to get homesick and just miss hanging out with the family and being able to chat to my girlfriends about this, that and the other. So yeah, I'm going to get homesick.
I'm going to absolutely kill for an English breakfast and a roast dinner, probably a curry as well by the time we land back in the UK. Oh, we are super excited to be planning something so epic, but I would be lying if I said inside I have butterflies like you're about to go for a job interview. I have a lot of nervous excitement.
The amount that this trip is going to cost, we're going to have to cut to Chris because I have no idea.
It's a pretty expensive trip. We haven't actually costed it fully. That's going to be part of our preparations and sharing it with you. Yes, we probably need to hurry up with the costings. Initially we estimated it would cost in the region of £40,000, but that was including and prepping a new vehicle, a new second-hand vehicle. So now that we're doing it in Trudy, I would think it would probably cost about £30,000 maybe. So many of you may be wondering how we can actually afford to do such a trip if it's going to cost somewhere in the region of £30,000. Well, luckily from when we sold everything in our house, we have a certain amount of savings, but it is not enough to cover the full trip. But we have rented our house, so we have a regular income. So part of the route planning is we can only go as fast as the finances allow, and that is the money coming in from our house and the small amount of money we generate from YouTube. But you will be pleased to know that we are sharing all of our finances on our website. We're going to share with you literally every penny we spend on food and how much we earn from our house and YouTube as we do this adventure. So if you are curious about how much such a trip costs, by the end you'll know exactly how much it costs.
Yeah, as Chris said, on our website we intend to be incredibly transparent about how we fund, what our income is, how much our outgoings are, and also another form of funding is we have created these t-shirts that Chris is modelling here.
We're going to have an online shop on our website which is going to sell t-shirts and other bits and pieces to help support and fund our trip. But we were also very thankful to, at the time of making this video, we have one sponsor, A-Plan Insurance. A-Plan is sponsoring us for our vehicle and medical insurance. And if you are looking for van insurance and you are in the UK, if you quote Tread the Globe and call the A-Plan Thatcham branch, you will get a preferential rate. Details are on the website below. I'll also put their phone number in the description below.
Absolutely, and if you are interested in being part of the team that supports us on our website, as Chris said, there are ways to help.
Absolutely, and any help is most appreciated, whether it's sharing this video or our story with your friends. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it does help us in the long run. So over the next 4 months we are going to be sharing with you all the preparations. We hope you come on this awesome adventure with us. You can follow our adventures by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button now, click that bell so you don't miss an episode. We will also be sharing lots of information on our website, and we do a weekly newsletter. It's free to subscribe to. Just check out the website treadtheglobe.com. So until the next episode, we will see you very soon.